Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 3 in a series between Fly and 120. 120 currently down 2, or excuse me, Fly currently down 2-0 in this series so far, and we'll see what exactly Fly is able to do in order to get back into this. Over here on the, what I'll call the 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock position, we have 120 spawning as the blue Undead. Meanwhile, all the way on the other side of the map, well, not cross spawn, but other leg of the turtle, so to speak, we have Fly spawning as the purple orc. Now, Turtle Rock is a map that is generally, well, favored by orc players, and we'll see if that does hold true in game number 3. First of all, I hope that my audio issues are now completely gone. I know that there was some issues moments ago as we are getting things underway. Now, we are going to be opening up with a Crypt Altar of Darkness. There is that graveyard. Altar of Darkness is, I believe, a bit delayed, meaning that we are going to have a late Death Knight into Crypt Fiends. Most likely, we'll be looking at a Blade Master with an early Grunt and a very, very fast tech to Tier 2 as we don't yet see a Voodoo Lounge. Now, what does that mean for the Blade Master? The Blade Master will not be able to easily clear out the Goblin Merchant shops until a little bit later. That is going to mean that he won't be able to get those healing salves until he comes back. He will leave home without it, but he does get an Orc Burrow down, so kind of curious as to the timing now. Since he did throw down that Orc Burrow, he is going to be a little bit more delayed in terms of overall supply. We'll see how he holds up here. He is not getting an additional worker, deciding to hold on to, I believe, 12 workers instead of 13. We'll see how that particular build does go ahead and pan out for him. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is going to be making its rounds. It still has quite a ways to go. Meanwhile, Blade Master will make its way out at the 2-minute 5-second mark and, well, accompanied with a solo Grunt. Units are going to be making their way out here as we do see the Voodoo Lounge now finally being placed down. It is no longer going to be a quick tech coming in here from the Orc as the Blade Master going to go ahead and try and engage. Ogre Warrior going to get cleared up here in just a moment as the items will be placed down. Now, I keep on getting some of those comments out there that say, how come you only talk about what's happening on the screen? I really wish you'd get more in-depth analysis, and it's one of these situations where the energy is actually, I believe, captured by the play-by-play, and then the analysis happens during the slower portions of the game. I like to do that in my games and in my casts just because it has a much more natural feel. The Death Knight now picking up a Rod of Necromancy and a Sacrificial Skull means that he is going to be trying to clear out a relatively difficult creep camp and wants that Sacrificial Skull for a bit of extra healing. Now, he could also try and do some sort of tower attempt. That's not something you see very often coming in from Undead players, but since he is currently up 2-0 in the series, he may try and play a little bit more risky, hoping to throw his opponent off his game. Back across over here, the Blade Master now wandering around. You see Mantle of Intelligence, Ring of Protection +2, as he's going to go quickly sell some items, picks up that Circlet of Nobility, and now makes his rounds out. He's hoping to perhaps get an easy Crypt Fiend or two, but he also does notice that the Death Knight has plenty of mana, so we'll be able to Death Coil here fairly easily. Down to 348 right now, is still not really worried at all, as it is going to get back onto Blight in a hurry. Now, the Blade Master is sitting at level 2, does have Critical Strike in addition to that Windwalk, and all he's going to do is try and capture or keep the Undead inside his base. Tech to Tier 2 already underway. The Skeletal Minions getting in some early damage onto that Blade Master, as the Blade Master is now forced to head back. Stronghold also being upgraded as well, as we're going to look at the Blade Master just trying to keep the Death Knight in check. That is generally not a very, very good strategy at all. As you're going to see the Death Knight now making its rounds right out. I apologize, my phone is ringing, but pretty much anyone there is going to be a telemarketer. Meanwhile, Blade Master going to be coming around and doing its rounds as well, as the Blade Master now heads back down across over here. All right, Death Knight now going to do a little bit of engaging, going after some units. Blade Master able to steal that and get a Windwall or Critical Strike off onto that Death Knight. Grunts are going to be heading back off to the north. Skeletal Minions now going to be pulling away, as the Crypt Fiends do all have a little bit of damage absorbed onto them, but that Death Knight at near maximum mana should be using that Death Coil, as you see there. Alright, Blade Master is somehow able to get in a lot of damage so far, and so far just trading healing salves for mana off of that Death Knight. Are we going to continue and try and engage, try to get that final shot, final steal there? Death Knight ends up being forced to use a death coil in order to finish it off, as the Blade Master is currently revealed and will walk away and use a healing salve. Alright, we are now sitting at tier 2 for the Orc player. We should see the transition into the Bestiaries, as the Bestiary will allow to get some Kodos and some Raiders. Kodos increase the amount of damage on that Blade Master and the remainder of the army. Meanwhile, the Raiders are important to get the necessary ensnares and make it more difficult for any units to try and escape. The problem is going to be that these Crypt Fiends here are not really... are they weak to... No, they are weak to normal attacks, not siege attacks from those Raiders. And that's a little bit of a downfall there, as the Blade Master really wants to keep all of his grunts alive. Death Knight taking this opportunity to clear up some of those creep camps here, as we should be looking at a Lich getting, well, trained up, and we should be doing a very, very quick tech to tier 3 in just a moment. Back across here, Death Knight now wandering back around. Blade Master going to come across here. Is he going to go ahead and take down that Skeletal Minion? Not 100% sure, as the Skeletal Minion is just trying to keep tabs of that army. Skeletal Minion does not want to give experience, though, and that is exactly what he did there, but he did end up buying time for his opponent. As you see, the Blight was quickly used to clear out, or at least heal some of the damage on this giant sea turtle creep camp. The gargantuan sea turtles do drop what I call the tier 2 or tier 3 consumable items. Probably just tier 2. It's not the Potion of Divinity, just Potions of Invulnerability, Potions of Greater Healing, and Potion of Greater Mana. You also see Wand of Mana Stealing as well. Not necessarily something you really are looking for, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle, down to 112 hit points, will get taken out. Wand of Mana Stealing it is, meaning that the Death Knight may be able to deny a Healing Wave, a Hex, while getting in an additional Death Coil himself. Gargantuan Sea Turtle now taken down. There it goes. Blade Master still sitting at level 2. Shadow Hunter still sitting at level 1, as we see a little bit of long distance creeping, pulling those units back. And as those units are now pulled back, and they are going to get taken down once more. Death Knight going after the Ogre Warrior and the Forest Troll Trappers. There they go again. Units are now being pulled back again, as the Ogre Lord is going to make its way over. I don't see any Raiders, so we may be forced to try and get a surround of some sort in order to prevent the units from actually walking back. This is a bit of an issue for Fly, as you can see that there is finally a Raider, and are these units actually going to get taken down? Alright, one Ogre Warrior going to get in for an engage there. It looks like ensnares have not been researched as of yet, as the units are going to continue engage back and forth. Death Knight looking for where the Blade Master is going to spot this Ogre Lord, and we are going to have an engagement over here on the north side of the creep camps here, as the Blade Master may try and finish off and get some easy damage onto some units here. Alright, Blade Master picking up some units. No, there is a sentry ward right there. 120 knows exactly where that Blade Master is, as we do see an ensnare go down on that Crypt Fiend. All right, there you go. A little bit of an engagement. There you have it. The Lich is going to be able to get a Frost Nova on itself, trying to focus down some of these units, as the Grunts have taken a fair bit of damage. Healing Wave going around, as the Grunt does finally get taken out from a Frost. It looked like a Frost Nova, but instead it was just a slow from the frozen armor. All right, low hit point Grunt now trying to run away. Should be able to do exactly that, as the Raiders are going to continue and engage. Good use so far, but there are a lot of skeletal minions. Rod and Necromancy, perhaps both on the Lich and on the Death Knight, allowing for 6 or 4 skeletal minions currently out, blocking the path, and that is just a problem once more. Low hit point Grunt, down to 54 hit points, will slowly heal back up, as the Roar is still currently on, and you need to try and use that Roar very, very effectively. There goes an ensnare, as the Ogre Lord gonna try and do a bit of chasing. All right, there's an engage, there's an ensnare down. Ogre Lord getting in some damage. Skeletal Minion does spot this, and the Blade Master should get to level 3, though. Is the Skeletal Minion purposely trying to perhaps steal a bit of aggro? Gonna get taken down here. Ogre Lord not quite sure where it wants to go. Gets confused, gets taken out, as the Blade Master does get to level 3 alongside that Shadow Hunter. Coming in from right behind, the positioning is absolutely perfect. Also, we see a Orb of Corruption here as well. Any reinforcements will have to pass by that Lich, and this is actually a horrible spot to be, as we now see the remainder of these units getting taken out. All right, units attempting to run away. You can see there goes an ensnare. Lich gonna go ahead and try and chase, as Fly's units are just running around every which way, heading back down a different direction. Dark Ranger coming across as well. Very, very much in a bad spot, as we take a look. Grunt gonna get taken out. as the remaining units are all just in a massive fleeing retreat. This is not a good spot to be in at any time in the game right now. 120 is dominating and just in the driver's seat of this game as the Tauren Chieftain does make its way out onto the field. Now, we do not have rune bracers like we did in the previous game, so that Blade Master is going to be taking substantially more damage from destroyers when destroyers are finally trained up. Let's take a look. 47 over 50 supply. Gargantuan sea turtle going to get taken out here. Meanwhile, going after the Overlord at the other end of the map. Very, very risky as the Death Knight is right there as well. Kodo Beast attempting to wander away. There you go. Tome of Experience though. Tauren Chieftain quickly picks that up, and if it can get stomped that much more quickly, that's going to really change things up. Death Knight of 120 though, it does get hexed. Is it going to get taken out? Yes, it will. And 120 with a catastrophic mistake right there, all of a sudden in a bit of pain as now you see, well, the Dark Ranger getting taken out. All right, are we going to get another ensnare on an Obsidian statue and on a Crypt Fiend? So what was a big supply advantage, all of a sudden, for naught, 16 supply worth of units taken out completely unanswered. Fly now back in the driver's seat of this game, no doubt about it. Where is he going to go next? How is he going to perhaps try and capitalize? Death Knight being forced to resurrect his hero at the tavern, getting no additional hit points as another Obsidian statue gets taken out. All right, it is much more important to note that losing units from your opponent now is a much more dangerous proposition. There goes an ensnare. Are we going to see the Blade Master taken out? Oh my goodness, no. Down to 41 hit points, and it does end up surviving. That armor making a huge difference right there. That extra 3 armor being the difference between life and death as the Blade Master goes after, gets a Windwalk strike there. Now going to go ahead and use a Speed Scroll, take some damage, but he just shakes it off. All right, Tauren Chieftain hoping to get to level 3. Shadowhunter will get to level 3 as the Forest Troll Warlord will get taken out. Kodo Beast with those drums adding in a bit of additional damage. Vampiric Aura now adding in a little bit of bonus healing as well as the Tauren Chieftain should be able to, well, get some hit points back here. Kodo Beast have to be extremely careful though. Are they going to be able to eat any good and delicious meals? That is the question, as we already see the expansion now coming in from Fly. Now, Fly, he doesn't want to throw this game anymore. He is currently in the driver's seat. He has a slight overall advantage, 50 over 50 supply with a little bit more gold in the bank. That's all stems from the fact that he didn't have to resurrect his heroes at the tavern. On top of that, well, this expansion will quickly get canceled. Death Knight sitting at level 3, almost at level 4. We'll see what's going to go down here as the Tauren Chieftain does get to level 3 and the Blade Master gets to level 4. This is going to be a very big deal indeed as the Tauren Chieftain, is he going to pick up a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, he will. Heads back off to the north, perhaps suspecting, knowing where his opponent actually is. Skeletal Minion is going to go ahead and die right here. Timed life. Is it going to get taken down? There it goes. Blade Master finishes it off. No Orb of Lightning Purge right there. Forest Troll Warlord will get taken out very fast. 243 critical strike. Down it goes. Sobi Mask given to the Shadowhunter without a doubt. Death Knight now looking to engage. Tauren Chieftain is off over here. Is it going to perhaps try and get a stomp in on any of these units? You can see, take a look at it there. There is a 230 critical strike. Scroll of Town Portal now being used as the Raiders are getting focused down. Are the Kodo Beasts going to be able to eat anything? No, they are not. Perhaps should have taken the time once the Scroll of Town Portal was procced. Well, Tome of Strength +2 left behind by Fly. While the Scroll of Town Portal was on its casting, perhaps a Kodo Beast or two should have tried to eat Crypt Fiend, getting lost in the confusion and then not teleporting away. That would have been a nice 3 to 6 supply swing right there as we are getting up into Wind Riders. Back off to the north, the last Forest Troll Berserker will get taken out. Back across over here, I believe only just Berserkers and Ogre Warriors. An orange creep camp at best now. No longer a red one, as we're going to see a small engagement right here. Death Knight picking up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability does have Scroll of the Beast. Meanwhile, He is sitting at 55 over 50 supply. Was upside down perhaps on supply. Needs to rebuild up a ziggurat, as we now see some minor creeping happening here. Expansion also attempted and getting underway. Destroyers will be ready to go. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2. There goes some attacks. Blade Master needs to get away, and he will just be running for the hills again. Back across over here, Shadow Hunter getting in a little bit more mana and should be ready for that all-important next fight. Kodo Beast giving some damage aura right there, plus 12 attack, command aura, followed by the endurance aura, followed by the war drums. All of that damage does add up, as you see the Blade Master at plus 33. Now, positioning is going to be key in this next fight. If the Blade Master can run around freely and maintain a high level of mana with Windwalk, he's going to be quite all right. However, the Blade Master coming across here, there's an ensnare, there's a Purge going after that. One Death Knight there, taking him down to about half life in just a few seconds, as the Lich and units are now looking to retreat once more. Skeletal Minion looking to finish off another creep down across here. Expansion nearly completed, as we are still looking to test the waters. Shadow Hunter may be able to finish off a unit, get to level 4, have a longer Hex time, as there was, oh, there's the Shade, and the Shade is able to get, nope, not able to get away. There is the critical strike, 231. There's the ensnare, and that was going to be it. Blade Master sitting at 4. Shadow Hunter sitting at 4 as well. Tauren Chieftain currently sitting at 3, just outside of 4. And with Endurance Aura giving a 20% movement and damage bonus, well, things are not looking good now for the Undead. Lich still sitting at level 3 though. Dark Ranger sitting at 2, just outside of 3. Supply count 66 over 70 compared to 60 over 60. Fly is currently behind in terms of overall supply, and will that actually translate into an actual difference in the upcoming fight? That is the big question, as we are going into some Troll Headhunters and maybe eventually some Troll Berserkers. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and engage. There is a Roar, and that is not a fight you really want to be in. Wow, Wyvern taken down in just a second. Wind Rider, excuse me, as the Bat Rider should be perhaps turned around and trying to fight against all of these units. Big stomp going across multiple units here. Tauren Chieftain pretty much stopping much of all of that damage there. And if the Tauren Chieftain can get another good stomp here, that would really change up things. All right, Tauren Chieftain now trying to make its way over. Tauren Chieftain does have mana. Not quite sure why it isn't stomping. There is the stomp. There's the healing wave. It needs to try and stay alive, as the Lich does end up surviving just a little bit longer. Tauren Chieftain now trying to fight its way through. Lich is still in position. Tauren Chieftain down to 531 hit points after a healing wave, as you're going to get an ensnare onto Obsidian Statues number 1 and 2. Tauren Chieftain now making its way over. Is it going to be able to stomp? Yes, it does stomp, but just outside of the range of that burrow. Oh, no, it still was stomp, but stunning does not cause you to unburrow. All right, Tauren Chieftain down to 75 mana. Death Knight now trying to continue to fight its way through. Did it Death Pact? Yes, I believe it Death Pact in order to stay alive, and there is another ensnare again. 120 does give the GG, as Fly takes one from 120 here on Turtle Rock. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.